You know, it's being said that Jalen Hurts disappointed key figures within the Eagles organization. Well, let me tell you this. If they really are disappointed by what Jalen Hurts said, then they misunderstood what he was talking about. Jalen Hurts wasn't throwing Nick Sirianni under the bus or trying to be down on him. He was actually trying to protect him. Dallas still stinks. You like the way it kicked Dingbat here, and you know the report's saying that the Eagles front office was not happy about the comments that Jalen Hurts made about Nick Sirianni to me are ridiculous. If it is true and they are upset because they think Jalen Hurts was taking a shot at Nick Sirianni or throwing shade on him, I think they're absolutely wrong. Jalen Hurts was trying to protect Nick Sirianni, not hurt him. Now, we're going to get into that and some other stuff in a second, but I just want to take this moment to say Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you fathers out there. Thank you for everything you do, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my father, who I know will be watching this video because he watches all my videos. So happy Father's Day to him. I love you, and I appreciate it. I'm going to do this video today, and I'm going to go hang out with family and my kids. So I hope you guys have a great day. I know that I will. Now, you know, we have talked so much about different standouts and OTAs and different trade possibilities and different things happening in the secondary. But the question I have for you guys is this. If you could take one of the rookies from this draft class and you look at them, who do you think is the guy that is going to start or play right away? Who is that guy? Because I do think Cooper DeJean will play. I do think Quinyon Mitchell will play. I even think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will play at some point this season. But when I look at going into, let's say, week 1, and I say, which rookie did the Eagles draft that looks like he is going to make an immediate impact and be out on the field and start? When I look at all the guys that they drafted, the guy that I keep coming back to, Ainias Smith. Ainias Smith is that guy. I consider the slot wide receiver a starting spot. So, to me, I think by week 1, and I think this is going to be a huge upset. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. But Ainias Smith is going to go out there week 1, and I think he's got a really good, if he's healthy during camp and preseason, and he is back. He was back for mandatory minicamp, but if he's healthy, he could play. I think he rises up the depth chart really, really quick, and I think he becomes your starting slot wide receiver. I do. You know, one of the things that they were talking to him, and he said, because he couldn't run the 40 or anything during, you know, before the draft and those kind of things, the combine, because he had an injury. He says he runs like around like the high 4.3s, 4.4s. If he is in that range and he is that fast, forget about it. He is going to win that job. I think he is the perfect guy to be a slot wide receiver. And really a lot of it comes because his yards after the catch. He's very good yards after the catch. And I think when I look at all these guys, I think he's got the easiest path to start right away. He can beat out Paris Campbell. He can definitely beat him out. He can beat out John Ross, and he can beat out Britton Covey. And we talked about Covey yesterday. Covey is a guy who has had a really, really good spring. Probably the hidden gem of OTAs that nobody's talking about. But I think Ainias Smith, when you look at all the players that the Eagles have in terms of rookies and the people in front of these rookies, he's got the easiest route to play. And I think he is going to play, and I think he's going to be very, very good. I think he was an absolute and total steal okay? When you look at Quinyon Mitchell, I mean, you're talking about, you have Slay, right now Bradbury, Isaiah Rodgers, Ringo. They're probably all ahead of him in the depth chart. So even if you trade Bradbury and put Isaiah Rodgers out there, and Isaiah Rodgers, I mean, he's probably been the most impressive person in camp. I would say that out of everybody during OTAs in this spring and mandatory minicamp, he's been the most impressive, Isaiah Rodgers. Him and then Ringo, and then after Ringo and him, I would say Britton Covey. But those two corners are ahead of Quinyon Mitchell right now. So he's got to go beat out some guys that are playing good football right now to get on the field. Hopefully they trade Bradbury, they move Isaiah Rodgers inside, and then that'll free up Mitchell to get out there and play. Cooper DeJean, he's got to beat Avonte Maddox out, assuming he's going to be on the inside. He hasn't taken any snaps at safety yet. And that's something that could happen. I could see a situation where he actually gets to play in the slot if Avonte Maddox's big-ass toe can't basically be healthy. He's never healthy. So I think that those two guys, they got people, they got legit people in front of them. Ainias Smith, he beats out Paris Campbell, he's starting. And I think he legitimately can do it. So I would say that of all the rookies, I think Ainias Smith is most likely to start by week 1 and win a starting job right away. I also believe Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will be playing and will be starting by the end of the year. But I don't expect that till like week 12, week 13. And that gets into Nakobe Dean and what he's going to do and Bond and all that. And that's a whole nother video for a separate day. But I think Ainias Smith has the best chance to start out of all the rookies, okay? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was this Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts thing. I addressed it in a video last week, and I really didn't talk about the details of what he said because I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't think it's a big deal. And now we're getting reports that there are front office people not happy about it. Report, Jalen Hurts' handling of Nick Sirianni's questions disappointed several key figures in the Eagles organization. And to me, I think if they really feel that way and they really think it was bad what he said, I think they totally misunderstood what was happening. And here's what I mean. This was the exact question that was asked to Jalen Hurts, okay? What have you noticed about Nick being open-minded to change up the offense like he has? What does that say about him? That's the exact wording, okay? And his exact wording was, I mean, that's a great question, Hurts said. I don't know that I have an answer to it. Okay, so you're going, okay, well, he's avoiding the question. And yeah, he is avoiding the question because think about this. This is what they asked. What does it say about Nick Sirianni, about him being open-minded to change up the offense like he was? By asking Jalen Hurts that question, what they're saying to Jalen Hurts, really, and what Jalen Hurts is thinking in his mind, I don't know for sure, but this is what I think he's thinking. This is what I would be thinking. Jalen Hurts is thinking, if I say yes, it shows how great Nick or how far Nick has come. Or whatever he says, if he admits to the fact that Nick is now open-minded to it, they're going to twist it. The media most likely will twist it and say Jalen Hurts threw Nick Sirianni under the bus about last year. Nick Sirianni gets thrown under the bus by Jalen Hurts. There is nothing in Jalen Hurts' mind as he's hearing that question that he can think and say to himself, they're not setting me up for something. He's got to think that. And you can tell by his response. He goes, it's a great question. And then he goes, I don't know that I know how to answer it. Now, the reason he says that is because he's thinking in his mind. And this is what I believe Jalen Hurts is thinking. If I answer this and say, yeah, Nick is open-minded to change, and I'm very happy about it, and it's good. The media is going to make it about Jalen Hurts throwing Nick Sirianni under the bus. That's what Jalen Hurts is thinking, all right? And then they come back and they really follow it up, and then they say to Jalen Hurts, well, what have you seen from him as far as doing that? Being more open. And then Hurts answered, slowly, they say, as if he's searching for words. Of course he was searching words, because he's trying not to throw Nick under the bus. So then he says, I think he's been great in the messages he's delivering to the team, the quarterback said, trying to be very intentional in what he was saying. And by Jalen Hurts saying he's been great in his messaging and how he's delivering it to the team, he's trying not to throw Nick Sirianni under the bus. So the initial question is a question that Jalen Hurts, and I probably would have took it the same way as, if I say something wrong or if I answer this openly, they're going to say I'm throwing the coach under the bus about last year and I'm blaming it all on him. That's why Jalen Hurts was hesitant in his response. And then the follow-up, as he has time to think about it and the questions kind of re-asked, he says he's been very good about delivering messages to the team. So for us on the outside, we're looking at going, oh, that's a weak answer. He's not sticking up for Nick Sirianni. But in truth, if you really listen to the question and you put yourself in Jalen Hurts' perspective, Jalen Hurts is trying not to throw Nick Sirianni under the bus. He's trying not to throw him under the bus. He's not trying to throw him under the bus or show a lack of confidence. He is trying not to start anything. So the fact that the front office would apparently be upset, I don't know. That to me, I definitely don't know about. John McClain on Uncovering the Birds podcast, this is what he said about the whole thing. He goes, it was, needless to say, awkward exchange. Hurts was given the opportunity to say something constructive about the coach and ended up not saying much at all. Maybe he misunderstood the question. I don't want to make too much of the moment. But if Hurts has shown anything during his time in Philly, he's very intentional almost in everything he does. And according to team sources, his handling of the question about Sirianni right before the Eagles parted way before summer disappointed several key figures within the organization. That's because they didn't understand what Hurts was trying to do, in my opinion. Jalen Hurts wasn't trying to not show confidence in Nick Sirianni or throw him under the table or do anything. He was trying to actually protect him, because the way the question is worded about what do you think about Nick changing and being more open-minded, by answering that and saying, oh, I think it's great that he's more open-minded, we need this, they're going to turn it around on him and say, he's throwing him under the bus about last season. Confirmed. Jalen Hurts throws Nick Sirianni under the bus. Now, whether they're going to do that or not, that is most likely how Jalen Hurts is seeing the situation and looking at the situation. It just makes sense. It's just common sense. So I think this thing is a big nothing burger. I think they're blowing it up, and I don't even know that I believe people within the front office are upset about it. I think if they are, they probably talked to him, and then they probably realized what he was doing. But I think Jalen Hurts was just trying to avoid a situation where they were going to say he threw Nick Sirianni under the bus about last year. So who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. That's how I perceive it and took it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Also, make sure you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you guys. God bless. Take care. Talk to you later. And of course, don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's our vision, baby. We're all just living in it. So I just want to thank everybody. Like, I got so many people who talk told me that, you know, they liked that I put the intro back and I played it at the end, and that they really liked the intros. I was under the impression that, you know, some people liked it, but a lot of people didn't, and they didn't want it anymore. But, you know, if people like it, we'll bring them back in some, maybe not an introduction, but we'll bring back skits and all sorts of stuff like that. If people actually like it, I would love to actually do it. And with that said, here is another classic Philly 500 intro.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes.
I'm a grown-ass man. See, I'm a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man.
Hey everybody, King Dingbat here. I'm in my garage with a cigar. It's only a candy cigar because my wife won't let me smoke one after I put that big fat head up in our bedroom.
Let's get rid of that. At this point, I'd be happy for Dak to be playing for somebody else. And my team stinks. I agree. Stinks.
They laugh about us. We're a disgrace. We suck.
I am now Philly 500's bitch.
Dallas still stinks.